No. Hi, and welcome to episode 5 of the Year of Actually Trying. So, as some of you may have seen, I have been making some great progress on the piano. 1, 2. Oh my god. Okay, come on. Yeah, I will do an update on that. I'll do a video on that soon because I am actually really enjoying it and I have made a little bit of progress. But yeah, so I will update you in a upcoming video on how that is all going. But something that I haven't made much progress on is my goal of learning French. So, the goal that I've set myself around this is to have read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets in French all the way through by the end of the year. And the kind of bit that I added onto that was with like near full comprehension. So I know those stories very, very well, which is why I've chosen those. And I guess my kind of vision of that is that when I have finished each one, I'm kind of like near enough as close to when I do a comparison with the English version and the French version, near enough as close to full comprehension of what I've read for each chapter. That's how I'm seeing that. But anyway, so I don't know about you, but it's now February, which, thank you, very exciting that it's February. But I do find that because January is so long, that when it's not January anymore, I'm very much like, I don't know, I just start to think, oh my god, the year is going so fast. It's not. For anybody else who's thinking that, it's not going too fast, don't worry. But yeah, I always find myself thinking that. And so yeah, as we've come into February now, I haven't really focused on my, sorry, Oliver's down here and he's looking like he wants to play. No. No, I will play with you after this. So it's February and I have not made any progress on my French learning. So I'm going to get into a little. No, come on now. This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh, I'll be back. So I thought, first of all, I'll show you some books that I. Sorry if you can hear stuff in the background. Oliver is now playing. Anyway, yeah, I thought I'd show you the books that I am using for, I guess, this first kind of quarter, Q1, I guess, probably going into Q2 too. So I'll just show you those now. So the first one here is Short Stories in French by Ollie Richards and Richard Simcott. So it was actually Ollie Richards, I think, that kind of made me reevaluate like how I'm learning language, because I was just using Duolingo, watching kind of French TV, and that was it. And I had a nearly 1,200 day streak on Duolingo. However, I let that go because I just felt like I wasn't, like, I felt like it was becoming like a tick box for me. Like, I would just kind of do the quickest, shortest exercise to keep my streak going, and then I wasn't really like learning much anymore. I do still have it on my phone, although that streak is long gone. I do still have it, and I will try and like integrate it back in a little bit, I guess, for like the gamification of it, I guess. It's like fun. But anyway, this person, when I was like researching ways to learn a language, he said that one of the ways that we learn language and conversation when we're young is through reading. And I was a huge reader when I was younger. I do still really enjoy reading. I definitely don't make as much time for it as I should. So basically, it just kind of put into my mind how reading and taking the comprehension through books would probably be like a good way to do it because I enjoy reading. And yeah, so anyway, I think that's the person who said that. I'm sure loads of people have said it, but this person in particular I came across, and then I bought this book, which I haven't finished yet. And also, so this one's good because at the end of each chapter, so you have each chapter here, and then at the end of each chapter you have a little quiz where you kind of go through the vocab, and you also are asked questions about what happened in that chapter. So yeah, this is kind of like, really, this is where I need to start. I mean, obviously I'm just like, I want to just start reading the Harry Potter books because to me I'm like, that feels more fun. Like this feels kind of like schoolwork. but yeah, I think this would be the best place for me to start. And then of course I have the first Harry Potter. I found this, I came across this actually, but I have the first Harry Potter book in French. So this is basically what I'm going to read, like the series that I'm going to read, and as I'm learning French. And the reason is because obviously, I mean, I'm 32, so Harry Potter was a huge part of my childhood. I've read the books in English so many times. I actually have lost count. I think the first one I've definitely read at least 10 times. And yeah, I just was a huge fan of the story. So it makes sense. That's something that people have said, people online have said, is that if you're learning French through reading books, you should read children's books or books that you're very familiar with, because then you can kind of piece together vocabulary through knowing the context of the story. And yeah, I think that's probably what I will find reading Harry Potter, because it's such a familiar story for me. So I thought it might be helpful for me to kind of run through what I'm going to do when I'm reading the Harry Potter book in French, to help me be able to read it. I'm just going to preface this by saying, like, I'm absolutely no expert in this, and if you have some tips, tricks, or some advice that has really helped you when it comes to doing this, please do let me know, because I'm just going off other stuff that I've read people online saying, and also I guess what feels right for me as well, because yeah, I really like the feeling of like reading a sentence in French and understanding it without any extra comprehension just from the context, and so I do that quite a bit. But yeah, I definitely need to like work on my vocab, definitely. So what my plan is I will actually show you, because I have started this book, although I haven't got very far in it. But what I do is, yeah, I do write and draw all over it, I'm afraid. But yeah, so I will highlight any word that I don't understand, and then, or like a phrase that I don't understand, and I will then look for a definition of that and then read through it again. Because how do I explain this? There's some words where I don't really know exactly what it means, but like my brain is kind of like making sense of what it could mean. So I'm going off like just the words that I really don't understand. So for example, there's deshonnête, which I was like, I've never seen that before. And when I looked that up, it was nonsense. And as I had the English book next to me, I could kind of like see where that fitted in once I'd looked it up. That is something that I will mention actually, is that I am having the English book with me as I'm reading. However, I'm not like checking the words in the that I don't understand in the English book, because one, I don't think they always use the same wording, and two, I'm worried that if I do that, I'll look ahead in the English book and then it's like, oh no, what's coming up? So instead, I'm kind of like, after every few pages, I'm then checking it against the English version and kind of seeing what matches up and seeing where like maybe a different turn of phrase is used or something like that. So that's my plan with Harry Potter. If you have any tips or tricks or anything that has been really helpful for you, if you've done this, then please do let me know, because it's quite daunting. I think that's probably why I haven't picked it up in this first month of the year, because it feels really daunting, and I really love the feeling of doing it. Like when I'm actually doing it, I'm like, oh, this is really fun. Like I like that my brain is like working in this different way, similar to like when I'm learning the piano. I do feel like there's a lot of similarities with language and music, but yeah, it feels very daunting. So yeah, if you have any tips or tricks or any stories or anything that you want to share from doing this, so reading a book that you're familiar with in your target language, then yeah, please do let me know, because I will probably need all the tips and tricks I can get. And if I find anything out, or as I'm doing it, I will also share that with you. I'm going to try and do an update on this in maybe, I don't know, maybe a month or so's time, just to kind of see how far into these books I am, and also whether I'm feeling my comprehension's getting better. I'll actually pop the link below to Ollie Richards' channel in case you want to have a look at what he's doing. Because yeah, that was quite a revelation for me, to think of learning a language through reading. I don't know why I didn't think of that, because obviously like when you do things at school or you study the language, you obviously read in the language, but I guess it always just seemed a bit too daunting to read a whole book in my target language. It was more like the books, like this sort of book where it is more of like a workbook, that made more sense rather than reading a whole story. But I would love to be able to read exclusively French literature books at some point in my life, because yeah, there's a whole world of reading that could be opened up through doing this. So yeah, I'll pop a link below to anything that I've come across through exploring doing this that might be useful for anybody. And yeah, I think that's it. So thank you for watching, and au revoir. No, but I'll see you in the next one.